Hello, everyone. My name is Josh Runner. I am the principal with preschool and kindergarten at North Canton Primary School. The reason you are receiving this video is because you have enrolled your child to attend kindergarten at North Canton Primary School starting in August of 2026. So, the purpose of this video is to inform you with some information to prepare you or your child for the upcoming school year and might answer a lot of the questions that you may have or things you can do to prepare your child to be ready. So let's get started. First of all, I have a note here from our kindergarten team. We are blessed with amazing kindergarten staff that are so helpful and dedicated to the learning and the growth of your child, no matter what experiences they've already come from. So we can't wait to get started and for you to get to know our teachers and staff, and we get to know you as well as your child begins their educational journey. Here you can see our goals for North Canton City Schools, our mission, vision, and values. Of course, we want to ignite a passion for learning in each of our children, and we want that journey to start here in kindergarten. You'll see and hear about a lot of these words, but mainly as it comes to our Vike Pledge, which I'll get to in a minute. Here you will see my email address if you ever need to reach out to me. And then we have another principal in the building, Mr. Donaldson. He is the principal of first and second grades, so you will often see him around as well. Other important staff that you might hear or see as you come into the building include our secretaries, Mrs. Frank, Mrs. Canella, Mrs. McClung, and then we have two school counselors in Miss Carson and Mr. Thomas. And then we are blessed with a clinic staff from Akron Children's Hospital. And we do have a district RN as well that kind of helps oversee the whole program. Here are those Vike expectations I was talking about. These are the behavior expectations that we have for our children and adults, of course, all over the school, and including the bus, cafeteria, playground, wherever they go in the building. We expect our children to follow these expectations. And we always say, I'm very safe, in control, kind to all, and eager to learn. This is a Vike Pledge that we repeat every single day. And we also teach it through a variety of ways, having students model it, showing videos, reading books about it, about what it means to have true character and be a Vike every day. Here on this slide, you can see the estimated timeline of things we have going on. Obviously, your child is already enrolled with us. Please tell your friends or neighbors of other possible kindergarten students. Registration is not officially closed yet, so your child can enroll up until when we do start in kindergarten. So please make sure that people know about that. Our screening dates at this time are August 18th, August 21st, and August 24th. We will be sharing your specific date and time with you in the near future. And then if that does not work for your family for some reason, please let us know and we can try to make it up on one of the other dates that we have available. On August 25th, you'll receive an email from me about which homeroom your child will have, which teacher they will be with. And then on the 26th, you will be able to come into the school in I think it's 4:30 to 6:30, and then you'll be able to meet your child's teacher, walk the building, get familiar with it, and help your child know how they will get to class on the first day. And then on August 27th, we do have our first day of kindergarten, which we are so excited to be ready for that. And but don't worry, on your child's first day, we will also have a lot of extra staff available and some other volunteers to help make sure your child gets where they need to be on that very first day. So during kindergarten screening, what you might expect. For the children, what they're going to do is they'll go back with our teaching staff, and the children are going to do a variety of activities. They might play in small groups with other kids. We might see what letters and sounds they know, some numbers, shapes, ask them some basic questions, and just see where their skills are so that we can know how we need to divide children into our class lists. Parents, during this time, whether it's you or a grandparent, there will be some forms in the waiting area that you can fill out to help us get to know your child, maybe some of their needs, some of their interests, things like that, just to get to know you and your family At that time, we'll also have the PTO available and some representatives there that can answer some questions to help maybe get you involved in volunteering with some activities at the school. This slide right here talks about a couple of important forms that will be available in August. The first one is final forms. All families must complete this for us. It is extremely important that you do this, and this helps us with specific medical history or information, maybe custody information. There could also be other things on there, other forms or permissions that you give us for yearbook photos. We do have a great social media team who shares things out with families, whether you give permission to do that or not. So please make sure you go through the final forms for us. The food service website includes school menus. Those change monthly, but it also includes the free and reduced lunch applications. Those are only available in August, and families do need to reapply every single year. If you do qualify for that, it can give you either free or reduced lunches for your child. And if you receive free lunches from that, you can also get your fees wiped as well, and you do not have to pay those. In the first few days of school, we ask that all of our kindergarten students wear these name tags throughout the building. Each homeroom will have a different animal icon. You can see the example here from Mrs. Beadle's class. And that helps all of our staff around the building make sure that children get where they need to be, especially in those first couple of weeks when they are still learning about their class and their teacher and where they need to be. Here you can see a tentative schedule for our building. This year, and we are expecting next year as well, our doors will open at 8:55. We do not allow students into the building before that. And then at 9:10, that is when students are considered tardy. We ask that if you enter the building after 9:10 with your child, that you check them in. And anytime you come into our building and you're going to come in to check in a child or check them out, we ask that you have your state-issued ID to scan them out. At the end of the day, 3:45 is typically when our car line dismissal has begun, and 3:55 is when buses usually leave our bus lot to head home. Now, talking about some food items here at the school. We do have a breakfast option every single day. And there's a couple of options when they do eat breakfast, but there is a cost to that. So please make sure you talk to your child before they go and eat breakfast every single day, because a bill will accrue for your child if you are not expecting that. Now also, at all the classrooms, every student will have a chance to have snack. So from home, please provide a packed snack for your child every day. Your teachers will be able to talk to you about if there's any specific allergies that you need to avoid. Please, please adhere to those, especially for the safety of all of our children. Something to consider over the summer to make sure your child is ready: have them practice opening snack packages by themselves and see if they can eat a snack in approximately 10 minutes. During lunch, students have the option to pack or buy a lunch at school. Students will have approximately 15 to 20 minutes once they sit down at their lunch tables. It is by class, so you can see a picture here below of what our cafeteria looks like. And at the tables, they will sit by the same teacher, but they can choose who they want to sit by. Students are given an 8-digit student ID number. You will receive that, and that number is going to stay the same until they graduate from Hoover High School if you stay in the North Canton City school system. So helping them memorize that number goes a long way in helping them to remember their lunch code and get through the line quicker so they can have more time to eat. Every single day there's going to be 2 hot lunch items. Often in our cafeteria, it's a chicken option or a pizza type of option. And then there's some other varied things that are available when it's not one of those. And then every single day, your child can choose from a turkey and cheese sandwich, peanut butter and jelly, or a yogurt parfait. So something to consider to get ready for next year. Try setting a timer for your child. See if they can eat in about 15 minutes, maybe at lunchtime or at dinner time before the time is up. That is one of the more difficult things for our kindergartners to learn at the beginning of the school year, but they do adapt very quickly and learn to become independent. Recess at school. We try to have 2 recesses at least every single day at North Canton Primary School. The students do have a 20-minute recess before lunch. So they'll go outside, have recess with their friends, and then they'll come in to have their lunchtime. Oftentimes, classes may have an additional one in the afternoon. And please make sure your child is dressed appropriately. We try to go outside as much as possible. Even when it snows and even when it's very cold, we do go outside even when the temperatures are in the 20s, if it's a real feel of in the 20s, depending on the wind and whatnot. So a helpful hint could be taking your child to one of the various playgrounds around North Canton and teaching them to be independent, maybe playing on the slides appropriately or the swings or playing with some other children. We do have specials every single day. We actually have a 3-day rotation. We call it an A, B, C rotation. And of course, it's going to vary by homeroom, but every child will get to go to either art every day, gym, or music every single day. And then it'll start over again on that same 3-day rotation. In addition to that, children also get to go to a library on every 3rd day. So they'll get to meet with one of our librarians and learn some stories, some strategies, different things about literature, or even check out some books. So we're very thankful for all of our staff here that help our students have some different learning opportunities. Using the restroom, this can be one of the biggest challenges for many of our kindergartners. Please make sure that your child is able to use the bathroom independently. One of the biggest things is we need to make sure that they know when they need to use the bathroom. Hopefully they can ask or tell an adult that they need to use the bathroom. They need to be able to pull their pants, their underwear up, or zip zippers or buttons, and make sure that they know how to use a toilet and wipe themselves, flush, or wash their hands. Those are all some very important things as your child is getting ready for kindergarten. Each of our kindergarten rooms do have a single restroom in their classroom and with a sink in there, and they're able to do that. We also have some communal restrooms that are by our cafeteria that they will learn to use as well. Talking about car riders, we do have quite a system that works pretty well. We are proud of this. It took us a while to get here, but we are proud of this system. It works very quickly once we get started. We do have a school resource officer, and they will help make sure to guide the line and things that are going on and make sure everyone is safe. So what we ask is for families to pull into the parking lot off of Portage Street and then follow the line, the red line that we have here on the diagram. We do have some cones that will be in the parking lot helping to direct you. This helps us drop off about 9 or 10 kids at a time each morning to make sure that children can get into the building safely but quickly. We do have some adults that stand out there to make sure children are entering the building safely, or if they really need some assistance, possibly getting a door, lending a hand. But we do not unbuckle, and we won't be able to open the door for every child. You also will be provided 2 name placards with your child's name on it. Please keep those in the cars that will be coming to pick up your kids, because if you pick up at the end of the day, we do have a scanning system that scans your child's name placard from the car, and it alerts our staff in the building to have your child out to your car at the end of the day in a speedy process. So something you can do for your child to have them ready, practice unbuckling or buckling their seat or their seatbelt on their own. Bus riders. We do have 22 buses, and we are blessed with the great bus staff that we do have with our bus drivers, and some of our buses do have bus aides as well. But bus lists will be posted using the Samsara app. from the transportation department that is not loaded until much closer to the school year. We still expect students to follow those VIKE expectations. And our transportation is a privilege. So if children do have some behavior concerns on the buses, uh, I often have a talk with them. I communicate with families, and if it happens multiple times, children can lose the privilege of riding the bus to school. But we'll have a discussion about that if that were ever to come. But we try to have a positive experience with our children as they learn to ride the bus coming to school or taking the bus home. One of the hardest things for some of our kids to get ready for kindergarten is learning those bus numbers. So, once you know that bus number, maybe ask them here and there if they remember what that bus number is as they are preparing for kindergarten. Again, independence is one of the most difficult things for children getting ready for kindergarten. Can your child use the restroom independently? Can they tell us their first and last name? Can they ask for help? Or can they remember how they go home in the afternoon? Now, they don't have to know every single thing, but obviously these are things that help your child. We often connect with our YMCA here in North Canton. We are very blessed with them. There is a before school and after school care through the YMCA. You can reach out to them to set that up. We do have a school bus that takes students to school from the YMCA child or from their before school care to the school in the morning, and then after school we have a bus that takes students back there to be picked up by their parents. Here you can find ways to get connected with our PTO. We have a very active PTO and we appreciate all that they do to raise money for our children, for a lot of the things that go on in the classroom, special projects, assemblies, playground equipment. They are so very helpful in making sure that we can give the very best programming to our children and teachers. Here is our school calendar. If you don't have one already, it's also listed on the North Canton City Schools website. And just lastly, again, we want to repeat that we are so excited for all of you and for your children to join us. We can't wait to see you guys in August of 2026. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to reach out to the school or get a hold of me. Thanks, everybody.